I was a very indecisive kid. I would triple check and quadruple check all of my answers on tests. When I was with my friend and he picked a different meal than I did at a restaurant, I would suddenly actually change to that meal, right? If he said it first, I would say, no, actually, can I have the same thing as him? But just because I would think, maybe my food wouldn't be as good. There were times when I would read something or I would hear something and suddenly my opinion would completely switch. All throughout my life, I was this indecisive person, and I could never have certainty over my choice of what I was doing. It was always in the back of my head that I kind of felt, I'm probably wrong. I don't know what I'm doing. That was always in the back of my mind. Now, a lot of people will say indecisiveness is good because it allows you to not make bad decisions. It allows you not to go quick and suddenly make something that's wrong. And, it allows you to actually think about what you're doing. But I say that's all true, right? It's just none of that is not true. But it's only true if you balance indecisiveness with action. If you balance thinking with action. And most people don't. Most people just sit there and they think and they think and they think, and they go into this analysis paralysis. They do nothing. In the end, nothing happens. That's the problem with indecisiveness. You have to learn to balance it with action. So what I would recommend to most people is that for this period of your life, don't worry about being absolutely certain that this is the right decision. Focus on actually making the decision. That is more important to your mental health. It's more important to your confidence, especially in this period. Later, okay, we can rein it in. Once you have the ability to make decisions fast, then you can take your time and actually take action. But right now, you don't know how to take action, right? And the root cause of that, as I was saying before, is your self-confidence. You don't have enough confidence in yourself. You are not proud of yourself. This can cause many business failures because, on an individual level, the act of selling anything, right? You can't sell anything unless you genuinely believe in what you're selling. How can you sell a product that you don't believe is genuinely helping people, right? Like a lot of people say, the people can be scam artists, but it's so difficult. It's so much easier, and it helps you so much. It makes you feel so much more honorable to genuinely sell a product that you believe is genuinely going to help the people that you're giving it to. So businesses will fail if they can't harness this power of being sure of themselves, of being confident. Without confidence, they will fall. Without confidence and without being sure of your decisions, you'll stay in one spot. Because you're indecisive, you'll stay in one spot. You'll think too much and you won't go anywhere. You'll stay exactly where you are now. Is that really what you want? And without confidence and having that certainty behind your decisions, you'll always kind of look weak and unconfident to other people. You will not be the leader that other people want you to be. Confidence is important for all of those reasons. It helps you to be sure of yourself. To improve your confidence, the best thing that I would say is to start working out. Now, this is what I did for myself, and it absolutely changed my life. Working out allowed me to have the ability to genuinely change how I saw myself in the mirror and how other people saw me, right? I was confident for the first time. I could look at myself and I was genuinely proud. And I was more attractive, so other people were more receptive to me anyway. And on top of that, I obviously got all the health benefits. I was a healthier person, I had stronger muscles, and I was more athletic. Now, if you want to learn exactly how I did this for myself, how I started training, I basically trained at home. I never used the gym, and I trained with 2 pieces of equipment, no weights. Check out the first link in the description if you're interested in learning exactly how I did that. The next thing that I would say to improve your confidence, other than working out, is to start pushing yourself to crazy limits. Now, there's this quote, I can't remember exactly the words of this quote, but it went something like this. You want to find comfort in the discomfortable. Okay? Push yourself to crazy limits. Push yourself and take new risks. When you do this, you'll find so much more confidence in the everyday life. Because if you push yourself and you go to new limits, you go to the discomfortable, when you go back into the normal, everything's easy now. There's nothing where you're, I'm afraid, I don't know what to do. It's not like that anymore. You are more confident. The next thing I'm going to talk about are principles of being sure of yourself, principles of certainty in your decisions. And the first principle is knowing that risk is beneficial. There are people on the islands, in the Pacific Islands, right? These islands, they're very, very small in terms of other continents. But those people didn't get there once huge ships were available. These people, these tribes of people, didn't get there when planes could go and fly to these islands. Those people got there by probably sailboats or rowing boats. Extremely basic innovation. Now, a normal person from other continents, right, would have said, there's no way I'm just gonna go in a boat without a compass, without, advanced instruments into the ocean and believe that there's just gonna be an island that I'm gonna land on. Any rational person would have said, what are you thinking? Why would I do that? Like, that is the dumbest thing ever, right? It's decision right there. A rational person would have said that. But some people went anyway. Some people, the people who are on the Pacific Islands now, who live there, they went on their rowboats and their sailboats. I don't know exactly what kind of boat, but they went into the ocean not knowing exactly where to go, into the huge ocean. And they went and they landed on an island. And once they're there, they have insane success, right? This is what allowed humans to conquer all parts of the world. Rational people would have said, it's good right here. It's good that we live right here. There's food right here. But taking the risk allowed people to have new innovations, which then allowed to the conquering of the world by humans, right? Humans dominate the world. We had optimism. We said, it would be so cool. How great would it be if we pulled this off? At least that's the way that I like to think about it. Risk is beneficial. Now, if you're like I used to be and your opinion switches all the time based on something that you hear in the present moment, maybe something that you heard this week opposed to something that you heard last week, so then you listen to this week, right? If you're kind of that person whose opinion always switches, I want you to always put the words "I think" in front of everybody's sentences, right? So even in front of my sentences, even in front of everybody's sentences that you always listen to and you always take advice from, always remember that it's what they think. It's not the truth. It's not the complete truth. They don't know the truth of the world. They have no idea. This is what they've experienced. This is the patterns that they've recognized. Remember that. And always put the words "I think" in front of my sentences. In front of my sentences, in front of the people around you. That's what they think. That's not absolutely true. You have power too. You can look at that thought and analyze, is this really smart to think like this? Is it? And then allow it into your mind. Don't just assume it because they said it. The next principle of certainty is to make sure that you set a deadline for when you're gonna finish thinking about something. Don't just say to yourself, I'll think about this and I'll find the answer later. No, set a deadline when you're gonna make a decision. And that way you're gonna have to take action one way or the other when you get to that deadline. And suddenly you're forced to start thinking about it and you're forced to make a decision. And finally, if you're thinking about something, if you're thinking about going for something, you're probably gonna do it anyway. You're gonna do it in the future anyway. I was thinking about YouTube for a long time, right? And finally, I heard this piece of advice. If you're thinking about something that much, you're probably gonna do it in the future. If you're thinking about starting something right now, start it. Because you're gonna do it anyway in the future. With that, I hope that you got something from this video. Again, if you want to learn exactly how I work out, how I started building my confidence, check out the first 2 links in the description, and I'll help you there. With that, I hope that you got something from this video, and I hope that you go out and conquer.